Hey guys, what's up? My name is Anthony, and welcome to another edition of BNA Sports Talk. And it is Super Bowl Monday. Hopefully you guys are all doing good. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the Super Bowl. I thought it was the most eventful, uneventful game ever. I'm going to briefly talk about the game, and then we'll get into my Super Bowl official rankings. Subjective, it's completely objective. But anyway, so Patrick Mahomes is a little bit uptight. He was aiming the ball a little bit. He was trying to get it to his wide receivers rather than just throwing it. You know, he got a little uptight, and then when they were down by 10, I was like, this is exactly where they want to be. They can expand the playbook. They can do whatever they want now. They don't feel like they have to execute a game plan. They can do whatever, and this is where they thrive because they do have a bunch of talent. And, you know, Patrick Mahomes was being pressured. He had pressure in his face the entire game, and he made one huge mistake, it seemed like. But after that, it's just like, okay, now everyone doubts you. Let's try to win. People are saying Jimmy G played horrible. I think it's just Kyle Shanahan's play calls. That's what it was. But it felt like the refs were giving the team the benefit of the doubt. I'm like, that was really a 9-yard gain, and they gave him 10. But the Chiefs players are just like, just get the first down. But, yeah, so as far as Patrick Mahomes, whether he should have won MVP, I think Tyreek Hill probably had more impact on the game because he's the one who had the most catches. Him and Sammy Watkins had some key catches, but do you give it to a wide receiver again? And plus, it's better for the league to give it to Patrick Mahomes. The Chiefs running back did have a great touchdown run, and he did have some key runs during the game. But Patrick Mahomes willed the win, and yeah, I don't mind giving it to Patrick Mahomes. But now, this is the moment you all have been waiting for, my Super Bowl commercial rankings. And so one of the most overrated commercials, in my opinion, people are like, oh, it was so great, was the Smart Car Park, the one. I think they went a little bit over. I'm not sure about you guys. I thought they went a little bit too much with the accents. I'm like, just have like a normal commercial, like they're normally speaking. I know it's like a Super Bowl commercial. You're supposed to make it exaggerated so like we remember it. But it was a little bit too much for me. I don't think it was a horrible commercial, but I don't think it's as great as people think. And I don't have too much for, like, accents and stuff like that. I think it's kind of cheesy, corny, and, yeah, I don't really like accent jokes. A great one was the Groundhog Day one. I usually don't like commercials with the obvious, message to them, but I loved the Groundhog Day commercial with the Jeep because it's just like, you know what? I watched the movie a couple weeks ago too, and it was right in my brain. It was perfect for the Super Bowl, and when I was watching it, I was really enjoying it. I enjoyed the message to it. I usually don't like when companies spoon feed me the message. I like kind of figuring things out for myself, but I enjoyed the Groundhog Day one. There's also the commercial about Tide Pods and the stain. The story wasn't that great. It didn't really have me like. It didn't really make sense to me, the story, but I like how they spanned it out through commercials, and it was kind of weird with the plot twists. Like, he was old, then he was young again in the other one, and then he was old again. It was kind of weird with the spacing, too, how, like, you had to wait all the way to the end of the Super Bowl to get the conclusion. I feel like they could have spaced it out a little more. But overall, you know, the guy, the actor, was really good. He can only play, like, one certain character, but whatever that character is great. He's like the James Bond. He's like Nicolas Cage. You know, he plays that one character. He's in every single movie, but you remember that character. He's great at playing it, and yeah, he's not versatile in his acting. Another commercial that I remember is the Facebook one. I Want to Rock. I think it was just stupid. I didn't really get the message to it. Like, I want to rock. Maybe I'm missing it, but. You know, Facebook groups, there are a lot of advertisers just like, why are you advertising? Google, why are you advertising? Do you think that, you know, all of a sudden nobody is going to use Google? I get they probably had a bunch of money to spend, but do you think all of a sudden if you don't Google stuff, people will start binging stuff? I don't understand Google. There are a couple other noteworthy commercials. There was the first one, the one that opened the Super Bowl, and I didn't think it was as great as people thought. I get the message. I like incorporating kids. You know, there's something like more girls, soccer players get concussions than football players, which is interesting. I get CTE is a more long-term, more of a chronic issue, but, you know, that was interesting to me. But the kid, it felt a little bit forced. Like last year, it felt like, you know what, they all got in a room and they were just scripting it together. This year, it's just like, okay, let's make this sequel. And it didn't seem as genuine. It seemed a little bit forced. You know, it's kind of like the Hollywood sequel. It's just like, yeah, let's just put a bunch of money into it. Where the first one felt, you know what, let's just make it as it is and let's just do it because it's fun. And but I like the message with the kid. You know, the kid apparently, if you don't know, he set the world record for the 100-yard dash. He's like 12.4 seconds or something like that. The kid's impressive, and it'll be interesting to see whether he has a football career or not. But yeah, there are some other commercials that they weren't really as note. You know, you had the classic Doritos commercial. A key thing this year was they brought a bunch of celebrities into commercials, which is usual, but it seemed like a lot of celebrities were in commercials. Like, that was the theme. A couple years ago, it's just like, oh, the emotional. They wanted you to remember their commercials by the emotion that you felt. You know, all the commercials felt like Budweiser commercials. You know, they had that one Google commercial where it's just like the person died. It's like, really? I don't really like that. I want more of an uplifting story. I don't want to feel like depressed by the end, like they all died at the end. Like, I didn't really like that. But yeah, you know, Bud Light had those average. I don't think Bud Light commercials are great. I'm not really into the night. I don't really like night things or things to do with medieval times. They did have some good jokes in there, but it was not memorable. T-Mobile, I'm starting to really like their commercials. Kind of like the relatable thing, but it's like a change of pace from other commercials. And it kind of fits well. You know, you have the dad that doesn't understand. You have the boyfriend that doesn't text back. You know, I like the relatability with T-Mobile, and they're unique. And I like commercials too that are like, I don't know, it has me on the edge of my seat. What's happening? The Tom Brady commercial, this is probably the last one I'll mention, was just like, oh. You know, I get it, some people are not New England fans, like, this story's getting sick, it's getting old. Then you have New England fans, like, oh, he's staying because he's like, I'm not going anywhere. But it's like, does not going anywhere meaning he's still going to play in the NFL, or does it mean he's staying in New England? We don't know. And that's very interesting, and I like the whole lead up to it. And it was kind of funny. I was like on my seat. I don't like things where it's just like, oh, I know exactly what's going to happen here. I like the unpredictability of it. Like, what commercial is this? But you have to lead me in a little bit. You can't just have it like a whole storyline, and in the end it's like, by the way, avocados in Mexico, you know. But yeah, that was just my short list of Super Bowl commercials. Obviously, I missed a bunch. You know, you had the Doritos, you had the Budweiser one. But that's my overall opinion about the Super Bowl commercials this year. Those are the ones that stuck out to me. My favorite one was the Groundhog Day one. A close second was probably... I like T-Mobile. I like T-Mobile a lot. But Pringles one was just too chaotic for me. I know Rick and Morty, bringing in references. I get it, but I don't really like Rick and Morty. I guess people like Rick and Morty would have liked it. It was a little bit too much for me. Like, wait, what's going on here? But overall, I think it was a solid year of commercials. It was definitely better than the past couple years. Definitely, people went for the funny side, went for the eye-catching rather than the emotional connection. But yeah, my rankings, I'll have them up on the screen, and let me know whether you agree or disagree. And whether you agree or disagree, my rankings are right, so it doesn't really matter. Anyway, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.